Hey guys, and welcome back. As you know, life is hard. And I think one of the hardest things about it is probably making friends and keeping those friendships going. And it's always different because everybody has their own interpretation of friendship and what they think friendship is. I mean, going back to like elementary school where like he or she hit you and that meant like they liked you, and you're just like, how does that mean that they like me? They hit me. Like, how does that even make sense? Like, if you like me, wouldn't you like give me something like candy? I don't know, a card or something that says I like you, but you hit me and I'm supposed to assume that you like me. You know, like all those different kind of things that we grew up with, and then it transpires into something totally different, you know, through middle school and high school, you know, having different groups that you hang out with because these are like what the smart kids, I guess. These are like the band people. There was always so many groups, and then it just depended on what you did, like what you liked, and like how you fit into that group, you know, but those became your friends. But then once that's all gone, like the only way to make friends nowadays seems like just using apps, right? And apps are just that much more complicated because even though people say like they're looking for this or their interests are this, you know, when you start talking or whatever and communicating, it seems like maybe it's not what they said that they liked or the things that they actually intended to do or what they actually wanted out of the friendship. And then that becomes that much more difficult because it's like, wow, like nobody's actually saying what they really want. Just like in elementary school, you hit me, that means you like me? Like, no one just comes out and just says what they really want. It's just like a facade of this is maybe the type of person I want to be, and hopefully I can be that person with you, maybe as a friend, I guess. I don't know, I just realized just how difficult it has been for me to get the sort of friends that I want. For me, so moving to Korea, if you saw a lot of my videos, there were so many things that like I endured trying to make friends in Korea. But starting off, since you guys know, me and Charlotte arrived about 2 months before I did in Korea, so there was already the possibility. I mean, I knew I was going to Korea for months, kind of around the same time she knew. It was like a plan that we were planning out anyway. So yeah, you know that now. But yeah, I already knew that I was gonna at least go with one person, and then, you know, that's my best friend. So like, it's gonna go good from there at least. And now all I have to do after that is just, you know, work on my Korean and try to make Korean friends and maybe some other foreign friends too, depending on how that goes, you know? I don't know where, but majority of times everybody relies on like applications, you know? But I was kind of like, okay, because I knew I was going with somebody that I really wanted to go with. As you know, she was pretty busy, but we did hang out a lot, but she was gone sometimes to come back to Japan and to work and so forth. So during those times, usually I went to the gym and I was trying like applications, trying to find ways to meet people. But a lot of those times, like, it didn't go as well. When we first went, so me and Charlotte used to hang out quite a bit, and we used to walk around the streets. We met so many nice people that just tried to help us in Korea. Like, they did their best. Like, we were just like vlogging and just talking about like, what is this or something, and then like we have like ladies or stuff to come up and like, oh, that's shrimp or something, and we're just like, oh, like, because we didn't know. Korean was horrible at the time, especially when I first went there. It improved a lot, but it was very horrible. I didn't know what was going on, but I was excited. And even at that time, I always mistakenly said everything in Japanese to Korean people, which they just looked at me like, huh? And I looked like, huh? You know, like, why are you not talking back? You know, I just couldn't understand that I was in a different country, not Japan anymore, it seems. But like a lot of the encounters that we had just walking around and meeting people, they were actually pretty good. And even the people that I went to the gym with, they were lovely. Like my older group of people, they loved me and they would always talk to me, you know. And like that really made my day, you know. But then there are the type of things where I met people on different applications, and that didn't go too well. I think it was the first person I tried meeting on an application, and at the time I lived like right outside of Seoul, but like if you've been to Seoul, it still takes quite a distance depending on where you are in Seoul to meet different people, unless you live close to like the area that people want to go to, like probably like Hongdae or something like that. And I was supposed to meet somebody in Hongdae, and I lived about an hour and 15 minutes from Hongdae or something like that at the time. And I was like, oh, okay, so like we'll meet up or whatever. And then I went to go meet him, and he went out drinking the night before, which was actually funny. Is he said he had no plans or whatever, and then we're just gonna hang out today. And he's supposed to be the first person to help me make a vlog about what I think it was like dressing Korean style at the time, because it was something that I thought about doing, which I never got around to doing after that, because maybe I just gave up on it. I don't even know. Maybe I'll return to that in the future. But I went there, and that's what I was trying to do, and we're supposed to hang out, and he wanted to go shopping anyway, so I was like, this is perfect. Like, I'm gonna be able to do the film that I want to do, and it's gonna be fun. You know, I'm getting to meet somebody new in a different country, so it's gonna be amazing. But he went drinking the night before, and I guess kind of if you're similar to the whole Japan thing too, usually transportation closes down at about midnight. So after that, usually people stay in a club or something until like 5 a.m. and then after that they return on like the morning trains and then sleep in the next day, which is like that Sunday or Saturday, depending on what day they went out. So that's what he did, but he didn't tell me, so I was already going on my way there, and I couldn't turn around, because if I turned around, there was another hour and 15 minutes to go back, and then an hour and 15 minutes to turn back around and go back to Hongdae. So I was just like, I'll just stay there. And he's like, yeah, I'm almost ready. So he said this for about like 4 or 5 hours. Like, yeah, I'm almost there. So that was like my first meeting, which I was already kind of irritated. I was just like, wow, it's like 5 hours. Like, I was just sitting there waiting. And it was my first time to Hongdae, if I'm correct. And I didn't really know what was there, so I didn't know what I could do. So I was just like walking around, and I saw some of the busking during that time. My first time seeing busking in Hongdae. But you know, I was kind of irritated because like, wow, like this is my first meeting in Korea, and like it's already going pretty bad, you know. And then I guess we were together for like an hour. We went to go eat because he was hungry or whatever. And I was like, yeah, okay. So I was like, are you ready to go, you know, go shopping so we can make the video and stuff like that? And he's like, oh, well, actually, I was thinking, can we do something different? And I was like, different? And he's like, yeah, I also got invited to a club, so I wondered if you want to go with me and stuff. And I'm just like, what? Like, come on, man. Like, because it was supposed to be his free day or whatever, so we're supposed to hang out, and he said he had no other plans, but all of a sudden he had all these other plans. And then he's like, oh yeah, but I might leave you during the club. So I'm like, okay, I see where this is going. You're gonna leave me to go, you know, with somebody. But I'm just like, oh, so I was just over it. I was like, I'm going home. Going home. But that was like my first meeting in Korea. So I was like, man, like it's, you know, like, wow, that's ridiculous for our first meeting. But I'm like, okay, you know, let's move on and like meet some new people. But a lot of the friends that I tried to make online, it actually went pretty bad. There was like another one, which he was actually pretty good. I actually had a barbecue at his girlfriend's family's house one time. He was pretty good, but that was during the time when he wasn't working. But when he started working again, then I don't know, I guess he got too busy, so then we stopped talking after that. But up until that, like, he was pretty cool. Maybe because he was just free. He had time, I guess. So like we were able to do a lot of different things, and that was pretty cool. We went out a few times. Because of him, I even got to do I got to make a video for like a popular English application in Korea during the time. So that's pretty cool. It was like one of my first times doing like a commercial shoot in Korea, so that was pretty amazing. I was like happy that I was able to at least meet one good person during that time. Besides that, I had another friend that I met, but that relationship was kind of weird though, because that guy, he would always say that I was too nice, in that, because we would talk about things, Like, I don't know, for me, and if I'm friends with somebody, I feel like you're supposed to talk about things, right? Like, if you're lying or holding things back, then you can't really be friends because you're not really saying what's on your mind. And then to me, that's gonna lead to more problems in the future. And I don't want problems in the future. You know, I don't want problems now, but I think it's better to say it now, because I feel like if you hold a lot of things in, then like you get angrier as you go on. Like this like the 10th time, like, why doesn't he understand, or why doesn't she understand? You know, but you never said it, so like, how are they gonna know? You know, but like that, you know, that type of stuff leads to problems. So, you know, I like to say it. So we would talk about things, and I guess talk about how I am, and I guess he would compare it to himself, and he would say that I'm too nice of a person, and I value friendship a lot more than he did. Or I guess that's just how he thought about it when we talk about different things. So that became an issue, so we couldn't be friends because of that. So like, I don't know, I just find it so weird, because I was just like, man, it's just so hard to make friends. And like, how I thought about it, I was like, wow, like what do people expect, you know, when becoming friends? Like, what are you really looking for? Like, if you say, I'm looking for friends, like, is it really that different? You just say like, I want to hang out, I like going to the movies, or I like going camping outdoors, I like whitewater rafting, hiking, I like going to, I don't know, movies, karaoke, eating dinner or whatever. Then you have something that you guys share in common, you know, you guys both like going to the movies or whatever, so that's something you guys can do together. I mean, I had a lot of friends in America, we specifically kind of did 1 or 2, maybe 3 things together, because that's what they like to do and I like to do too, you know? We like going to the movies. So me and my friend Hillary or whatever, we would go to the movies a lot. Well, with Hillary I did a lot, but you know, but you develop those kind of things, like, oh, I like doing this and that person likes doing this too, so we can just go out and do it together, and stuff like that. But I don't know if it's because you're older, which I don't think that's a thing too, because I don't know how that could be that much more complicated. But I just feel like nobody really knows what they want when it comes to making friends. And at times I just feel like maybe they don't want to make friends, and they think they do, maybe, I don't know. But it's just so funny that moving abroad has shed so much light for me on like trying to build new friendships, because I know that, you know, Japanese people and Korean people are a lot different from people back home, because even if they're Japanese or Korean, in America, they're still different, you know? And even they have their own mindset, which is different from, you know, the people that are actually in Japan and Korea, you know? And you could talk to your friends about that in different areas of the world, depending on where you live. But like, when you actually go to like that country and try, like, everybody has their own mindset of who you are already, or what is that, like prejudice, I guess. Like, oh, you're gonna be like this or like this or like this, you know? And they don't really know, but everything's based off of like some Hollywood film that somebody saw or something like that. So they get all these like mindset of who they think you'll be or whatever, or like how difficult establishing that relationship is going to be with you as a person. When to me, it's just like, well, everything's the same, you know, between people. The only difference would be like maybe language, you know, if you know the language or you don't know the language, you know. But I mean, if you are Japanese and you like movies, and you know, I'm American and I like movies, then what would the difference be, you know? But I realized trying to make friends abroad like that is just so different, because everybody assumes it's going to be more difficult than what it is. So if you ever know, or you talk to a lot of people that do move abroad, majority of them probably hang out with other foreigners instead of natives, because natives kind of have a hard time meeting up or making friends with foreigners, you know, and foreigners stop trying, maybe, if that's more of a thing of what you want to say. But I would talk to so many people like, oh, like I want to learn English or whatever. I'm like, oh, do you have any English speaking friends? No. And I'm like, huh, you know, like, but if you want to learn, then you just make English speaking friends and you'll be good, you know. But hazakashi, or you know, like I'm shy, or you know, something like that, or, you know, and it's just like, oh, okay, well, like, I'm shy too, but like, I just don't. If you really want something, like, you have to try, you know. After that, I did start making some foreign friends too, but even that was kind of complicated at the time. You know, I don't know, I felt like I don't know, people made me feel maybe that I was always doing something wrong. You know, like there was few different incidents. One, like, there was practice and the other person was late, and I was waiting, and I also had other plans that night with somebody else, well, with my family back home, and I was waiting for them, and nobody's actually telling me what was going on, so I'm just waiting around, you know. But then at that point, like, then I was just like, well, if no one's telling me, you know, then like I don't want to do it no more, you know. I already have other plans or whatever, you know. I'm waiting around, no one's giving me like info or 411 on like when they're going to arrive and when we're going to start it, you know. Like, I didn't want to do it anymore. So after that, everybody came and they're like, well, let's do it. And I was like, well, no, I don't want to do it anymore. I just needed a day or something to cool down, you know, like, because like I was just unhappy. For me, I do hate making plans and then people like backing out on it, or, you know, being late or something. Like, if you're gonna let me know in advance that something's going on, then like that's fine for me. But like at that same time, you know, it's just like, oh, I forgot or something, like, then yeah, that kind of irritates me, because I'm like waiting for you, you know, and I wouldn't want somebody to do that to me, so I try to reciprocate that. But yeah, that led to a problem. But then in the end, everybody was mad at me because I didn't want to do it. So I was so confused for me, because I'm just like, wow, so like I was on time and I was waiting for everything to happen, but the people that were late blame me for being mad. And like a lot of that stuff, since I think a lot, I was just like, wow, so like, did I do something wrong then? You know, and then that's weird, you know, like, why do you think that you did something wrong when you were there waiting, you know? And if you need time to cool, then, you know, everybody should just give you the time to cool down. But, you know, I became the problem, you know, and I'm just like, huh, like, I didn't understand that. And I would think about that for some time, you know, and I would talk to other people about it and stuff like that. But like, it never seemed like it was actually going the way I wanted to when I tried to make friends, you know. And then I made others, and then it would be like an argument for like little things, and I'm just like, oh, like, this is not what I wanted out of making a friendship. I don't want to make or meet people just to argue, you know. Like, what am I gonna get out of that but unhappiness? Like, my dream really is just like to be able to meet a lot of cool people, like especially around the world, that I'm able to just travel with and have fun with, you know, and just build amazing memories. Like, that's all I want out of life. Well, dreams with friends at least, you know. Like, I don't really want drama. Like, I guess you can assume that there's gonna be a little bit here and there, but like, I honestly, if I could like just not have that, I don't really want that, you know. But like, meeting people in Korea seemed like horrible. The people I worked with, I hung out with some a few times. Like, I was invited to one of the, was it kickboxing? Can't remember correctly. I think it was kickboxing tournament. And I went to go see that. And that was pretty cool. That's the first time seeing it. But well, okay, then it was a little bit different, because like, oh, people do this, and then you could actually see people get hurt and stuff. I mean, I guess you can see it on TV too, but I was like right there, and I was like, oh, like, oh, he lost all his teeth, and yeah, that wasn't the best. But you know, I was actually excited because I was invited out. But besides that, I guess because I always was working during my breaks and stuff, I kind of fell off track with everybody else who wasn't really doing that. So we went separate, so I didn't really hang out with the people from work or anything like that. So the only other way that I found that I can make friends was like through applications. But it felt like everybody just had something that they wanted from you, and then if you couldn't like give them what they wanted, then like, oh, well, then we can't be friends. And it's just like, wow, like the dynamics of making friends just seemed so hard for me, you know. And I don't know, I always thought like, man, like my thinking or something is different from so many people, you know, like no matter how many times I can say like, I just want to be happy and I want to make great friends and have all like these amazing memories. Like everybody else has their own agenda for making friends, you know, and I'm like, wow, that's just so difficult, which led to a lot of my sadness too, being abroad. Because it's just like, wow, like how do you really make good friends? And then even at that point, like how do you even know that you guys are really good friends? Like when do you know, you know? And that in turn made it harder for anybody else that I met, because then it started making me question so many different things. So I'm just like, so you do seem nicer than the last person I met, but like, is there something hidden that I don't know about? And it really like spiraled out of control, because like it probably started off with a 5-hour late guy, but it just started like trickling down or building up, whatever, like to everybody else. And it just made it so much more difficult, you know? And the last one being my roommate, my God, or both of them. But, you know, to start it off, since this is gonna go into next week's story, my roommate said he was racist when I first moved in. So I was like, oh God, oh God, like, wow, this is going to go well. And my other one would complain a lot. So yeah, that is the start of what we'll talk about next week. Yeah, just to let you know, obviously that did not go well. But to at least leave off on a good note, like I didn't meet a lot of really nice people when I went to like the gyms, because that was like the only place I really went to outside that I could probably meet different people besides like at school. The gym people I went to, they gravitated to me. They loved me. They always said like, oh, I love your smile, or you're handsome, and oh, they love my body and stuff like that. And even during that time, like I switched to another gym. I met so many people there that would be like, oh, call me like dad, or call me grandpa or something, because oh, you're about the age of my son and stuff, you know? And it was just so like nice, and it felt warm that like they, like for me at least, they would say like, oh, you're like my son or something, or grandson and stuff like that. And like that really made me happy, because I actually felt like a part of Korea, I guess, at the time, you know, and that people were actually accepting me, which is stupid. I guess you shouldn't look for acceptance, but it still felt good. You know, and I made a few Japanese friends. And besides that, I met 2 really nice people from the meetup application. Even the meetup application was pretty difficult for me. And in the end, I did come out with 1 good friend from my share house. So that was pretty amazing. We still talk now. But yeah, I really want to know what you guys think. Would you say that I probably have too many hopes for building friendships, or like, are people just way different from how I visualize making friends? I don't know. Like, I always feel like well, I don't know. I don't feel like I'm doing anything wrong, but you know, I do always think about it. Should I have handled something differently or something like that? But anyway, next time, finally, we're going to talk about oh, we're gonna talk about yeah, we're gonna talk about the share house. Probably what you've been waiting for like this whole time, because that was the end of my trip, and probably like the part that made me the most depressed like ever. You're still here? Thanks for watching the video until the end. Please don't forget to check out the description box below for info on my friends that were in the video. Hi! Product links, my other social media platforms, and my new product designer. If you guys love the video, please don't forget to like and subscribe. And don't forget to comment, because I really love reading and writing back to comments that fans leave. And thanks for watching. See you guys next time. Bye.